In this video, I'm experimenting with layers and layers of jelly printmaking. Specifically, how many layers of jelly printing can I do on the same piece of paper? So you can see this is a clean but used jelly plate, and I'm going to be focusing just on acrylic paint with this video, and I'm going to start with a layer of metallic using gold and silver metallic paint. I will link all of my materials in my description box. I use Blick art materials pretty much exclusively in my classroom. Taking a brayer, I'm going to do a pretty solid layer. It's going to be mostly gold with just like a random flash of that silver. I just want to start with like a solid base layer. I made a set scale. You can see that underneath where I measured out the size of the jelly plate and then the size almost of the paper so I could get a square print each time. It is not a perfect set scale, but it's good enough for what I'm doing. I'm using a piece of black acrylic paper and I'm taking my hand and burnishing it on the side. This is going to be a pretty flat print because it's just acrylic paint. So once I feel like I have the whole surface, there is a really pretty metallic over the black. Now that could be done right there, but the whole point of this video is to see how many times I can layer on top of the same piece of paper and get different levels and layers. Now I'm going to use white and I'm working wet on wet. I'm not cleaning off the gold, so I'm picking colors that work and blend well together. And I chose a black piece of paper because I thought it would make some of these metallics and some of these lighter colors pop. You can do this with any color paper. And I'm just doing an abstract focus here with white, and then I'm going to go in with my Q-tip and carve away. So what's going to happen theoretically is there should be kind of that layer of white, and then everything that I remove with the Q-tip, you'll be able to see the gold and the silver underneath. So I could be much more intentional with my design. I'm just kind of doing some random swirls, but this would be a great way to do monotypes. You could do contour drawing, you could do quick drawings. Again, you do want to do this before the paint dries, but you could do quick drawings of things around you. This is a great way to experiment with texture, line, mark making. If you're an AP art teacher, you know exactly what I mean. And this is going to then be printed on top of the still wet paper that I already did. Let's speed things up just a little bit. And again, this paint is wet, and then the paper is the same that I just printed in real time. Lining it up with my not so perfect set square, taking my hand and burnishing on my paper. And this is exciting because this is where you truly get to experiment. Jelly printmaking is so much fun because you can just create beautiful layers on the same piece of paper. Burnishing carefully so all of that detail shows up, pulling my print, and there you go. I really like the concept of wiping away the paint with a Q-tip, a paintbrush, anything else. I'm definitely going to play with that. Off camera, I did wash my jelly plate with a baby wipe so that I would have not a muddy color scheme, because now I want to try a little bit more of a vibrant color. I use these textured brayers. It's not working perfectly, but it does kind of have a nice chatter. It has a nice textured look. So I went with a royal blue, and then I'm going to use my hand to rub, and then there it is. Interesting. So let's, without cleaning our jelly plate, add a little bit more silver. So what was that? My third print. So is this print number 4? And I'm taking the brayer and I'm rolling that. And I think silver and blue will work really well together. So any of the blue that hasn't dried will pop through. And so I wanted to make sure I pick a color that is harmonious with the colors I've already used on the plate and on the paper already, because this is print number 4. I do need to go back and count. Now what I'm doing is taking these really cool textured paint scrapers that I bought, and it's such an easy way to create a fun texture. Taking the same piece of paper, pressing with my hand, making sure I'm burnishing. Because we're not using a printing press, your hand is what is going to cause the print to come out nice and clear. And then I'm going to pull my print, and this might be my favorite layer yet. Look how beautiful. You can see all the layers I've done before, but there's just something magnificent about that texture. Now, I could have stopped, but what's the point of making a video of how many jelly prints you can make if you're not going to keep going? So let's talk about contrast. I'm going to add this really beautiful gold yellow. Experimenting again with texture, taking those texture plates, and I will link those in my description box. They're great for all sorts of things in the classroom, or if you're a mixed media artist, I highly recommend them. Great for kids too. Burnishing and then pulling, and that is really fun. Oh man, I love that. Oh, the colors are gorgeous. All right, let's keep going. Adding some gold for our next print. And this is layer number 6, if anyone's keeping count, using that same gold I've used before and the brayer. And again, you could let your paper dry instead of mixing wet on wet, and that's gonna give you different results. But I wanna play around with like a colograph here. So I'm gonna take this thread and have a feeling that it's a little bit too thin, but in theory, the thread should resist the paint. And so the gold's gonna transfer, but then the line work of the thread will let the background show through. Let's test the theory. And as suspected, the gold transferred well, and let's peel off that thread. You can see it, but because there's so many layers going on and the thread is so thin, you can't see it very well. So let's take that concept and layer again, and let's use these really thick rubber bands that I have laying around because I know for a fact that those are gonna show up. I'm gonna go back to that beautiful blue. You can see I'm consistently using the same colors, but what if I didn't? What if I did wet on wet mixing of other colors? Because again, I'm not going for some finished, polished realism. I'm going for abstract, I'm going for layers, I'm going for transparency. So let's get those rubber bands that I mentioned and let's lay those out. And I know these are gonna resist really well. And I chose the blue because blue is kind of fading into the background. So hopefully that's gonna pop as far as the colors too. You're gonna really need to burnish with your hand if you do a layer that's a collage, so like a collage print, because it's a very 3D layer. And you can do this with so many objects. I have a video where I do this with leaves. And then I'm gonna pull it here and you can see gorgeous, the blue shows through and then the rubber band resists. The other thing you can do, you could get a clean piece of paper or rotate your paper here and do another print using the resisted areas. So this print is gonna be different because it's gonna pop through the blue and not the areas of rubber band. Really hard to see because of the color scheme, but this is a fun way to do a negative print with other objects. I'm adding more blue for print number 9, taking a sponge just to play around with a little bit of texture. And again, my whole goal here is just to see and play and just see what happens when I experiment with color, with texture, and with layers. This is going to be my 9th and final print of the day. I could take this same piece of paper and print until the end of time, and if I let things dry, I could go over with another color scheme. Like, what about if I use a pop of fuchsia? So here is my 9th and final print. So much fun. I love the echoes of what's going on underneath. Thank you so much for sticking around and making art with me and experimenting with Gelli plate printmaking. If you're interested in detailed tutorials, free lesson plans, rubrics, all things art education, find my website, thatartteacher.com.